To complete the discussion on our working space here, we will cover the lights. This is a very important subject because, as we said, the light isn't only outside but also inside our painting. So we're going to take this opportunity to start introducing some fundamentals that we will also use later. In particular, we're going to introduce some basic concept of lighting and how we do perceive it. We're going to see when, why, and how we should use lights while we're painting. We're going to analyze what type of lamps and bulbs we can find on the market. And at the end, we're going to suggest what shall we choose and why. By the theoretical point of view, a basic light source is a point capable to emit light in any direction. From now on, we're going to call it point light source. The light intensity decreases rapidly with the inverse square of the distance. And this means that if we move our source a little bit farther, the light intensity is going to decrease much more. If we're going to use a point light source to illuminate a specific area, most of the light is going to be wasted because it's going also in all the other directions. And only one portion will reach the place that we want. To avoid this, we can put behind something, for example, a bell, that it's going to reflect the light mostly in the direction that we want. That's how they make headlights. From now on, we're going to call this a spotlight. A spotlight produces a not uniform light flux that is stronger in the middle and gradually becomes weaker in the border direction where it completely disappears. To try to avoid this problem, we can use a light diffuser that makes the flux more uniform, and this should help reducing the problem. Before we go on, let's give a quick look on how our vision works. The iris is in charge to regulate the quantity of light that can get inside our eyes. If the light is too strong, our pupils are going to be very small, and if the light is weak, our pupils are going to be very large. Basically, what happens is that when our pupils are small, the light can only reach the central part of the retina, where are concentrated a type of cells called cones. These cells are responsible for our daily vision, and they can perceive colors. While the light goes down and our pupils become larger, the light starts to reach also this other area of our retina, where are concentrated another type of cells called rods. These are responsible for our night vision, and they are not capable to perceive colors. This is why our night vision is more monochromatic. So, at the end, if the light isn't enough, we're going to get some trouble seeing colors correctly. That's why when we are painting, we want to have a good light on our support. Then we have another problem. The light itself may have different colors that can go from warm to cold white. If the light is natural, its color may depend on the time of the day, on the sun position, on the weather condition, and so on. Artificial light's color change according with the type of bulb. For painting, we need to see very well what we're doing, so it's very important that on our canvas the light is always strong and uniform. So we should find the brightest spot in our house and go there painting. We have to make sure that there are no shadows on our support. If the light isn't too strong, it's better also to use a lamp, most of all if we're painting on a large support. If you ever work on a large support, you will see that there is a very good chance that at the end you will have one part of the canvas darker than the other. That's why my light is always on also in the day. Oil colors are very bright, mostly when they are still fresh, and they tend to reflect the light. If we are going to position our lamp with the wrong angle, we will end seeing only the reflex and not the colors. So it's better if we give to our light an angle with the canvas below 240 degrees. In this way, its reflex are going to end in a place where we can't directly see them. It's also good to get the light coming from the top, out from our visual area, because if the light is too strong and it's in a position where we can directly see the source, we may get visual problems. So it's always better to keep it clear out from our visual range. And the top is definitely the best position because we don't look there naturally. Thanks to the photography, on the market we can find very nice lights, sometimes even for a relatively decent price. We don't really need these types for painting, although if we have and we want to use them, they work really well. My suggestion is to choose one like this, with a projector bell and with a standard E27 connection that allow us to choose a normal bulb. Normally they have adjustable angle, and we can find them with an extendable tripod base that allow us to control also the height. This is what I use, but if you don't want to get one, even a desk lamp with a larger projector is fine, as far as it doesn't have a strange diffuser that casts caustics and it allows us to change the light bulb easily. To be able to choose our light bulb is very important because it gives us the chance to control two very important parameters: the light intensity and its color. The intensity of a bulb is normally measured in lumen, and it depends on the power consumption and on the LED efficiency. So far, we can find lights with efficiency starting from 70 lumen up to 120 lumen per watt for the most efficient. But the technology is improving very fast, and LED manufacturers think that they can reach much higher efficiencies soon. This is why we should use the lumens as parameter to choose our bulbs and not the power. The light color is given in Kelvin, and it refers to the theoretical temperature of the source emitting that type of light. And this is a bit tricky because we normally call warm the light emitted from the source with the lowest temperature, that is the coldest, and we call cold the light that comes from the source with the highest temperature. For example, the light of the candle that burns around 1300 Kelvin for us is very warm, while the light that we see in the steel welding process for us it's cold, and the process can reach temperature that start from 3300 Kelvin and it goes up easily to 6000-7000 Kelvin, according with the technology used. We'll come back to this subject later when we will talk about perception. On the market, we can easily find bulbs with a light temperature from 3000 Kelvin for those with a warm light up to 7000 for the cold light bulbs. In my opinion, for painting, we shouldn't use a temperature lower than 4000 Kelvin. I normally use a 6000 Kelvin bulb, but as always, this is up to you. A lot of people don't feel comfortable working in a cold light environment, and at the end our brain is going to help us to adjust our color perception. This type of light may have a lighting angle, so somehow they may be already a sort of spotlight, but the angle generally is pretty wide, and most of the time it never goes below 170 degrees. So, in my opinion, we should still use them inside the light projector. Another important thing that we have to consider when we choose a light bulb is if it has or not a light diffuser, and eventually how it's made. We want to avoid this type because although they probably look good on a chandelier, they're going to cast caustic on our support, and we definitely want to avoid this. Our target is to have a painting light as uniform as possible. I find this type of bulb very good for our application. They have a wide spherical and satin diffuser, and they normally have a nice strong light flux that, according with the type, it may go from 1200 up to 2500 lumen. In my opinion, for painting, we should choose a light above 1800. I normally use a 2500 lumen bulb, but this is completely up to you. In alternative, also the smaller type are okay, although they are going to give us a lower reflux. We can also find this type where we can see the LEDs. In this case, probably it's better if we use them with an external diffuser at the end of our projector. And with this last suggestion, we have concluded our discussion on the lights and on our working space setup. If you enjoyed this video, we will really appreciate if you could click on like and subscribe to our channel. It will also help us very much if you could leave a comment. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.